Good evening and welcome to tonight's broadcast of the Total Nonstop Racing League, live from Talladega Superspeedway. Joining me in the booth, as always, is Joe. And Joe, this is going to be fun. The annual doubleheader at Superspeedway is here for TNR in the midst of qualifying right now. And this track is absolutely wild for these Generation 4 race cars. A lot of power, a lot of drafting. Bumpers don't line up, so you got to watch out for the push as well.
Love that. It's nice and toasty here, too.
It definitely is. Taking a look here at the weather for tonight's race. 123 degree track temperature, 77 degrees on your thermostat. So there's not going to be a whole lot of grip out there. A lot of cars sliding around, and these guys hitting speeds very close to 200 miles an hour as we see Ace House here drafting with the 44 of Danny White as well as the 60 of Ryan Cole. As we see that, a lot of speed, not a whole lot of grip. Could make for some fishy situations there, especially in the corners.
Absolutely. As said in the chat, what's the over-under on the amount of cars that can get into the fence? It will be set at 3. Best of luck.
You know, depending on the insanity that very well could take place here, I could see the over happening. I mean, last season when we raced here at Talladega, we did see people in the catch fence coming to the checkered flag. So, you know, wilder things have happened.
That is true.
As we see some great pushing going on here. Let's jump on board here now with the 27 of Anthony DeBarro, as he's right behind his teammate. There's Shane Ewing. Ewing gets a great run on the outside of the 60 of Cole. And right here, they're sitting there saying, all right, that worked. And they're kind of saving that in that memory bank for later on in the race. And okay, we can get a good run out of 4. That's going to push us up to the line. We saw DeBarro there. He just went top of the board at a 47.92. So, I mean, we're going to see a lot of moves here in qualifying just to see what all can be done.
Yeah. There's so much. This is such a fun track. Is one of my favorite tracks. Just the go fast track.
Yeah, I mean you're flat out the entire race, unless you're trying to save fuel or not get too stuck underneath the guy in front of you. Because we see here, the 90 of Eckert trying to do a little side draft there with Ace House. And you can see there, the front end of the car is lower than the back end of the car in front of you. And when you get into the guy in front of you, it acts like a wedge. Like you see, a triangle getting underneath of a square. And using that wedge, it actually lifts the back tires up off of the ground of the car in front of you. And you're immediately going to set them sideways. So, there's essentially an air bubble that's created underneath the spoiler, and the best way to help push someone along is get your nose into that little air bubble, and try to help the car in front of you go and ride that bubble. And let's take a look here. Let's get the let's zoom in on this this fight. As of course they're going 3 wide, not pushing anymore, because why would anything like that be nice and easy as the checkered flag is coming out? Let's see if we could find anyone else. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to. That's doing any pushing. Yeah, well, pretty much everyone is in there. But, take it... Take my word for it. There's a little bubble behind the car that you have to get your front end into that bubble and kind of push that bubble of air along, and that's going to push the guy in front of you along as well. That's the best way to go fast around here. Because, technology never works right.
No, the game had to make you a liar.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So as we're waiting for cars to jump out onto the racing surface, let's get a check at the starting lineup for tonight's race. On pole, driving the number 27 machine is Anthony DeBarro, did a lap time of 47.918. His Dizzy Motorsports teammate on his outside, 39 1,000ths of a second slower. Row number 2 has the wild child, John Cannizzaro Jr. and Johnny Eckert on his outside. Jamar Dumas and Ryan Cole in row number 3. Row number 4, we have Ace House and Philip Scott. Jonathan Gaston and Robert Tripp make up row number 5. Row number 6 has Adam Stewart and Danny White. Row number 7, we've got Jason Schue and John Cannizzaro Sr., the third of the 3 Crazy Horse Racing drivers. Johnny Williams, Jacob Bettis in row number 8. Row number 9 has the return of the Canadian Mike Floppy Tellier and DJ Weeks. Tristan Maher, Chris Gabot round up row number 10, and Garrett Gleason rounding out our field of 21 cars this evening. Now the field just getting ready to get going, waiting on a couple more cars to join in, and we are going to be ready to go in just moments. Aside from saying, taking a look at the chat, Jacob Bettis, how many times will Bob say, remember the finish line isn't in the tri-oval? That is one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to watching any real-life race here at Talladega. So aside from quoting that line there, that'll probably be the only time. I might mention it once or twice, but that's about it. And you can quote me on that.
Quote him on the quote.
Yeah, aside from referring to that specific quote and comment, I will not be saying it. As the field getting ready to drive off. Nice up close and personal shot of Adam Stewart there as he runs over our camera. Couple of new paint schemes there on the racetrack. We see John Cannizzaro Jr. sporting a brand new one.
He did say that he had a new paint in the works a couple weeks ago.
It's a good looking paint scheme there too. Tyler Avery saying, also appreciate the tribute to Canadian racing legend Claude Leclerc on the 55 machine.
Glad you know that pronunciation.
I mean, I just took a stab at it.
I would. Your stab was a lot better than mine.
I'm just picturing Formula One driver Charles Leclerc.
Yeah.
Whereas anyone looks at it and says, oh, that's Charles Leclerc, but it's Charles Leclerc. Because, you know, Formula One. They just had their first race of the season last weekend. Started the race in a bit of rain at midnight. Because, you know, Australia. One of the rookies crashed two corners into the warm-up, not even in the race. Felt pretty awful for him. Another rookie wrecked on lap 1. A veteran wrecked on lap 1. Pretty wild finish.
Yeah. So, you know, E for everyone.
Yeah. But that being said, the pace car has pulled off. Field in the hands of the 27 of Anthony DeBarro. A couple of Dizzy Motorsports teammates on the front row. Through the tri-oval into the restart zone. Green flag in the air. And we're racing at the first of 2 Talladega doubleheader races here tonight on the Tabletop Trio Podcast Network. Everyone able to get rolling here for the most part. A little bit of contact there towards the back. Did not see who that was.
Testing the water real early, huh?
Couple of cars, looks like they just kind of got together ever so slightly. I think that might have been the 24 of Jacob Bettis. Might have spun the tires a little bit, might have gotten a little bit of a push. But meanwhile, up front, the field having a pretty orderly 2x2 run, heading off into turn number 3. Field just getting warmed up. Still not at their top speed yet, as it usually takes just a little over a lap for the field to get up to that max speed. As you'll see there on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, 192 miles an hour heading off into the corner. We have seen them go faster at other tracks, but these cars do have restrictor plates, so it restricts the amount of airflow that gets into the engine. And because of that, it keeps everyone on a mostly level playing field when it comes to horsepower. Or in the iRacing case, everyone's the exact same speed.
Yeah.
Philip Scott there in that white number 99, making a move down to the inside. We're right on board. We can hear Philip there feather the throttle ever so slightly. And that's a great way to, keep you off of the front end or the back end of the car in front of you. But also you're going to be saving fuel. It's a 40-lap race. These cars only have 55% of the fuel tank that they would have in a normal race.
To a one pit?
So we're likely seeing a one pit stop race. If a yellow comes out, things could get a little weird. Could certainly get a little hairy there. As we see the rest of the field. And it's always tough to kind of figure out, okay, how many pit stops are we going to make? What's going to happen here?
Yeah, I'm still on the how many pits per kind of track it is. Like, you think, oh, it's only 40 laps, maybe I'll make it. But then I remembered, your foot's basically on the floor the entire time, so how much gas are you sucking down?
Exactly. And that's kind of the question, even for these drivers too. You're going to get a decent amount of time on the track to practice, but you may not be able to do a full fuel run. And even if you do get a full fuel run, you may only be with one or two other people, or you might just be by yourself. And here with these cars in a drafting race like this, the bigger the pack, the more fuel saving you're going to do, because that momentum is just going to kind of pull you along like you're a little kid in a little red wagon.
My brain was going to say leash, but the wagon makes more sense.
I mean, let's face it, we've all been to Disney and you see the little kids on a leash running around, so it makes sense. We've all witnessed that once or twice in our lives.
Yeah, witnessed by a third party, totally.
Yes.
Yes.
It's not one of the... Never mind. It's a family program. So the field right now just trying to mind their own business, trying to figure out how the car is going to feel. We see Adam Stewart making a great run up there on the top side. He had a little bit of help from Johnny Williams, but not a whole lot he can do now as he's going to slide towards the back. And right now, if I'm someone like Adam, I'm putting that in the note bank for later and saying, all right, I made this move here. I was able to get up this far. I had no help. Maybe I can translate that to something that happens at the end of the race. But I think at this moment in time, I am much happier if I'm someone like Jonathan Gaston. A little bit further back from the pack, almost creating my second pack right now.
Yeah.
Don't really want to be up in the hornet's nest leading things, or, trying to make any crazy moves or anything like that. And if there is something crazy, I'm on the bottom. I have a much easier escape route than someone who might be up on the top side.
Yeah.
As we hear another bit of a lift there. Yeah, this is kind of where I want to be if I'm out there racing. Enough of a gap to the cars in front. Should mayhem happen, I can get out of the way. It's a long race.
Yeah, that's where I'm sitting. I think I'd want to be where like Weeks is at. Like,
yeah, there is DJ Weeks there in that black and green machine.
Yeah.
The only thing you'd have to worry about. Yeah, I mean, the only thing you'd have to worry about is if I'm DJ Weeks is, you know, I don't want something happening near me that I fall even further back, because I want to have at least one, maybe two cars behind me. I don't want to be all the way at the bottom, only because, or at the back of the pack, because if I lose that guy in front of me, if I slip up in a corner, if I sneeze and fall out of line, I could very easily fall all the way back and completely lose the draft.
Right. Sorry, I was thinking, you know, the way I race, where I'm definitely going to lose the draft. So I was just, you know.
And as you can see right now, everyone pretty much together in one pack. No one really splitting off quite yet. Wild Child there at the front of the machine, at the front of the pack. Cannizzaro Jr. minding his P's and Q's, trying to block and hold up both lines. A little bit of contact there between he and DeBarro. He's going to go back down in front of his teammate Ryan Cole.
Well, that was fun. Let's go back down there.
Yeah, let's try not to do that. Meanwhile, on the top side, here comes Johnny Eckert. He's got a huge push from Ace House and Robert Tripp. That three-car tandem is really working well. On the top side, he's got Mike Floppy Tellier, and Tellier is the guy who you want on your back bumper when the white flag comes out. They call him the Canadian Dale Earnhardt, and this guy knows his way around a super speedway.
I'm going to be I know I'm supposed to be impartial to this race, but I noticed that Cole is repping a pizza shop, and I don't know if I could be impartial the whole race.
There is that number 60 machine. The Antioch Pizza Shop.
I just ate, and like now I want pizza.
That just reminds me of the pizza dough that I have prepped and ready to go for tomorrow night for dinner.
Oh yeah.
Oh, trouble! Mike Tellier gets turned.
Ooh, more
Big
trouble.
wreck.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Ace House is involved. Looks like Jason Schue might have gotten a piece of it. Adam Stewart involved as well.
I think a lot of people got a piece of that, unfortunately.
And some heavy, heavy damage there on that number 97 machine.
Yeah, they are all moving real fast. I mean, any contact at, what, 2 and change is heavy contact.
Yeah, let's take a look here. Let's follow along that black and pink number 97 machine, and we might have just had a bad case of net. Yeah, look at that. They're not even touching. And the netcode gods chose violence. As, yeah, the 97 and the 4 are quite literally inside of each other.
Yeah.
And, oh, man, up in the air, almost suplexes the 47.
Wasn't expecting wrestling terms in this race, but here we are.
Right? And, oh, man, Cannizzaro Sr. just clips the back end of Ace House.
Yeah, that's what I saw. That was unfortunate. There was really nowhere for him to go. If he slams on his brakes, he's going to slide out. It was really just...
Yeah, let's take a look here from the 90s point of view. As Eckert had a scary view. He sees it happening and nothing for him to do.
Yeah. Try to go low.
A little bit of help there from the 28 of Dumas as well.
Yeah. Everyone's entering the pits. Maybe.
Yeah, looks like
people in the pits.
Looks like a decent amount. Adam Stewart stays out. As we see the two Dizzy Motorsport teammates at the front of the field pitting in. John Cannizzaro is there. Cannizzaro down and away. Same with the Dizzy drivers. Another Dizzy driver. There's the 25 of Chris Gabot. Gabot up 15 spots since the drop of the green flag.
That's a jump.
Now we see a lot of drivers who wound up getting a little bit of damage there. And, I mean, that's all it takes, especially here in the world of internet racing. The net code you see here is not like you see, you know, it's not something that obviously is experienced in real life racing. And, you know, unfortunately, it's just kind of a fluke thing that happened.
Yeah. There is no IRL lag time that you would normally have in real racing. Other than, I guess, your brain if you panicked. But, you know, that's what you practice for.
Right? Exactly. But so there's the number 4 car. That's Adam Stewart. He's our leader so far for tonight. A little bit of damage on that left front and right rear. Mike Tellier still on pit road, getting some damage fixed. Don't forget, this is the first of 2 races here tonight, both 40-lap twin races. Stewart, DeBarro, Shane Ewing, your top 3. Cannizzaro Jr. there as well. Real quick, I do want to go back to see that caution again. I don't know if Jason Schue got a piece of it or if he had just decided to park it down on the straightaway. But let's take a look to see what had happened to that number 3 car, as he was pretty much in last at the time of the caution. So we're on board here with the 3. You see the incident happening just up ahead. And then he and Gleason just completely stopped stop on the track and just said, nope, we're not going to be a part of this. A great heads-up move. So you've got ourselves the 1 to go. Couple of drivers down pit road just to take that little confidence splash.
How'd you know what I'd call me going to the pool?
I don't even know what to say to that one.
Got him.
But this is going to be an interesting rundown here, I think, because, you know, the 4 has a bit of damage. He'll be fine on the takeoff. Yeah. It's going to be a matter of being out front. You'll kind of almost act like a sail and, you know, hold up whatever line that he's in. His best bet would be to let the 27 go and get in front of him and then push. Because a damaged car in the draft is almost as fast as a fixed car or, you know, non-damaged car in the draft.
I was going to ask about that because I noticed Cannizzaro Sr. has a good chunk of bumper damage on that passenger side. And I was going to ask how he's going to fare.
Yeah, I mean, you see that right front damage. I think he should be okay. The front end of the car is fine, so I don't see it hindering him all that much. But I think, you know, as long as he's able to stay with the pack and as long as he doesn't have any engine damage, I think he's going to be okay.
Gotcha.
So the green flag is out. Adam Stewart gets a great jump. He might be out a little bit too far, as now he's going to be pulled back towards the rest of the Dizzy Motorsports drivers. And now he's going to sit there in front of the field and say, nope, you are going to push me. And unfortunately for him, just not quite fast enough, as that front end damage is going to be slowing him down quite a bit. So that very well could break up the field ever so slightly. The top four are going to try to get away. This little 4-car pack here getting around Adam. Robert Tripp there on the bottom with Jonathan Gaston and the rest of the field. Oh, the 55 getting a little squirrely there out of turn 4. That's Cannizzaro Sr. And like we said, you know, as long as he stays in line and stays in the pack, he's going to be okay. But the way he's weaving, he might be having some...
I wonder if his tire took some damage.
That's what I'm wondering as well. Let's take a look here. Oh, yeah, he's definitely got some wheel damage. Look at how he's kind of weaving the steering wheel back and forth there.
Yeah.
He might have picked up some right-side damage on the car, and he's just kind of fighting to keep it going in a straight line.
Well, the good news is there's a lot of banks for him to work with.
Yeah, right? It's going to help him for sure. But now it's just a matter of field trying to get around him as safely as possible.
Yeah, it is.
As big wiggles there that time.
Oof. Yeah, it's like you did all this practice driving this car, and then you take some damage. Now you gotta go, all right, remember all my placements where my hands are? Turn that, 3 to 4 degrees to the left and to the right.
And I mean,
and then the car's going to fight you the rest of the time.
Exactly, and even on top of that, depending on the style of wheel, I know the majority of these guys are racing with the oval circle wheel. But if you're someone who only has like a formula style wheel, having your car out of balance just barely could really, really hurt things. And Al Cannizzaro Sr. heading down pit road. So is Johnny Williams, too.
Interesting.
So now the field's sitting there saying, all right, we don't like what we saw. We're going to do single file now. There's still 23 laps to go. We're not even at halfway yet.
Yeah.
This is the only side-by-side battle really on the track at the moment. As everyone jumps up high to get around the 32 of Shane Ewing.
Ewing is like, hey, where's my pack?
Yeah, he looks up in the mirror, sees no one behind him. Next thing you know, he's getting spun around like a Bugs Bunny cartoon. That being said, here comes Philip Scott. He's been really running that low line. And now he's going to catch up to the 32, give him a bit of a push. He's got some help there from Danny White and Ace House. Don't forget, House was involved in that accident just a few laps ago, but his car looks pretty clean.
Yeah. Schue changing places, decides, I too want to go to the bottom.
Yeah, probably the safer way around right now.
I've been learning so much from the drafting tracks from that stupid drafting game.
Good old drafty car.
Yeah.
That is such a fun game. Coming up on halfway now. Another driver we have not seen all season, but welcoming him back is the 17 of Tristan Thuggy Maher. Maher has been racing with TNR for years now, and glad to see him back out on the racetrack. It's been a while since he's raced with the TNR gang, so glad to see him out there. Same with Mike Tellier. Tellier, one of the head admins here at TNR.
Love seeing people pop on to get back into the racing scene.
And right now, let's take a look at this 3x3 for the lead. On the inside, that's the 32 of Shane Ewing. We've got Anthony DeBarro, Chris Cabot there, as well as the 90 of Johnny Eckert. And they're coming up on the lap car now of John Cannizzaro Sr.
Yeah. Really putting on a show for this halfway mark.
Right? And this could get a little hairy here. Let's jump on board with the 77 as Cannizzaro Sr. ducks down below the yellow line just to let the field go. Great heads-up move there. Still 3 wide for the front of the pack.
Cannizzaro Sr. back into the pits. I guess he's still dealing with damage.
Yeah, I think that damage...
I was out there with a sledgehammer trying to realign the tire.
Yeah. Luckily, through the magic of... well, magic, the cars will all be, magically fixed for the next one.
Unlimited budgets. They have 37 of these in the garage.
Yeah, they've got that Formula 1 money.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, out front, it's a dizzy train. We see the 27, the 25, and the 32 of Shane Ewing on the inside, all Dizzy Motorsports drivers. Then we got Crazy Horse Racing on the outside there with Cannizzaro Sr. and Ryan Cole. All being helped by their spotter / crew chief / painter of Tyler Avery, who's been in the chat before. It always helps having that extra eye in the sky for these drivers just to know what's happening, whether there's a car ahead, whether, someone's running a certain lap time, or even in the event of an accident, you could say, all right, they're wrecking, go low, go high, go do whatever.
Yeah, definitely. I found out the hard way that without you spotting, I wreck a lot more than I usually do.
It can be certainly difficult to race when you're used to having a spotter and then just not having one. Especially because, you kind of have to be like a chameleon where you have one eye on your mirror, another eye out the front, all while also looking for your markers, when to turn in, when to brake, etc., etc.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is on top of that, you're learning. So it's like, you're going to be doing things wrong, and then I have to pay attention to all the other things while I'm doing things wrong.
Yeah, it can be nerve-wracking for the first timers and for anyone brand new to racing.
Yeah. That being said, I think that's why I appreciate iRacing so much, is they take the whole safety thing serious as opposed to other games where it's like, not just win, that's how you level up.
Yeah.
I like that they are like, no, this is safety is first, then level up.
Yeah, safety first, make sure you know what you're doing, then you can move your way up and race in other disciplines. Yeah, and it's not like a Forza lobby or Gran Turismo where you're just ramming each other off the road and, turning racing into a Call of Duty lobby. Because we all know those aren't toxic at all whatsoever.
Not at all.
Then again, I have seen some bottom split ARCA races that can that'll make a Call of Duty player blush. So
I do have a Glock mouse that I put next to my sim rig for in case things get a little hairy.
Well, things are certainly starting to get a little hairy here at the front of the field. The inside line is grown immensely. Now the outside, it's only Philip Scott, Jamar Dumas, and Chris Cabot. They're trying to hold their own against half the field there on the inside as we got 15 laps remaining.
Yep. And we officially have our second pack.
Yeah, let's take a look here. So we've got our first pack there, and it looks like it's from, first all the way down to about 12th as we see the 47 of Ace House trying to track onto the back of that number 17 machine of Tristan Maher. And then we have a little bit of ways from House to Jonathan Gaston, and he's got the lapped car of Adam Stewart. He's got Garrett Gleason, Robert Tripp, and Johnny Eckert actually a little bit further back. These guys are actually right in front of the leaders. Don't know what exactly happened to them, but just a matter of losing the draft, and the 90 and 91 racing together just to keep themselves ahead of the leaders and just hoping the yellow would have come out and they can catch back up.
Saying hi.
Yeah, right there. That's the bubble of air that we're talking about. Is we have a couple of cars heading down pit road. Ryan Cole and Cannizzaro Jr. They're making their green flag pit stops with 13 laps to go.
Huh. Maybe it was a 2-pit race.
Yeah, so maybe because I think originally the plan was to try to get them to halfway and then come down and pit. This way you know for sure you can make it the rest of the way on fuel. But with that yellow coming out shortly before halfway, they probably still weren't able to make it all the way on that stop. So I think it's going to be interesting now to see if anyone else comes down, and there they do.
Oh, they're biting.
Here comes half the field. Jamar Dumas as well as Jacob Bettis. Big lock up there. Everyone should be... Oh, the 44. Ooh. That's Danny White. He has some trouble getting down onto pit road. We'll see here if he has any issues. As, oh,
wrong car.
Missing the pit stop. There we go.
He got there.
As everyone taking their fuel, let's take a quick look at that one on replay to see what exactly happened to the 44. As I don't know if he just locked him up and got sideways, and that's going to be there's going to be a penalty there.
Yeah.
As White getting a ton of steam and overcommits, misses the entry line. So he's going to have a big penalty there, unfortunately.
Locks up, slides, locks up again. Oof.
So now the top 4 has a little bit of a breakaway now.
Yeah. Now is when you look at the map and there's just cars everywhere.
Yeah, and this is the middle of these green flag pit stops. This is one of those times where if you're a lap car, you're actually a little upset that everyone's pitting because, all right, barring anything wild and crazy happening, everyone's going to be spread out now, and you may not see the carnage, or you may not get the carnage that you're hoping for. But that being said, I want to keep an eye out on this trio of drivers right now. Yeah, we have the top 5 who've driven away for just a little bit. But the guys like Jason Schue, Tristan Maher, they're linked up now with Mike Tellier. And I'd mentioned before the crash that Tellier is one of those drivers who can, who's really, really skilled here at these super speedway races. These 3 guys have been racing together since the NR 2003 season days, back in the original iteration of TNR, and they've all been working together and racing together. So it's great to see the 3 of them pushing, and honestly, the 3 of them have great communication. You could see these guys trying to make a push towards the front as we're coming to 9 laps to go. It's going to be interesting if the Dizzy guys need to pit.
Yeah, I really wonder. I mean, I have to imagine they have to.
I would think so, but I mean, maybe they're saving just enough where, they kind of see the gap and they're like, all right, maybe we may not, because top 6 all separated by half a second now, as that second pack has caught the first pack. And then we have to go 11 seconds back to Jonathan Gaston, Garrett Gleason, Robert Tripp. And then from them, it's another 33 seconds to Johnny Eckert, DJ Weeks, and company.
Yeah, that's a big gap from 9 to 10.
Yeah, and Cannizzaro's 2 laps down, Cannizzaro Jr., that is. Ryan Cole is 1 lap down. Here's Philip Scott taking a peek to the outside, but he's all by himself. So unless he tries to utilize some side draft or he gets help from Jason Schue and co., Scott might be taking that elevator back to 7th.
Yeah,
unless he can slot in
Schue
here.
Cuts him off.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's going to. Look at the 17. He's going to drop back. He's waiting for some help from Tellier.
He's like, anybody?
And nope. Tellier goes up to work with Scott. So this could be interesting here.
Feeling a little bad for him. Like, I'll come get you. Get back down there.
That or he's saying, all right, come on, buddy, let's go. They've had their rivalry throughout the years, the 99 and 97, but it's always been a very friendly professional rivalry.
Maybe it was one of those, if you beat me, now I could say I let you.
Exactly. Meanwhile, out front, the three Dizzy drivers all nose to tail. Little bit of a gap now forming between the 25 of Gabot as well as the three of Jason Schue. Coming to 6 to go now. RC Plains saying the 97-99 history of some bad bloods. We'll see how this one plays out. That's for sure.
Yeah, nice and close as we still have one whole race to go.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We still have a second race after this. So maybe they're kind of saving whatever move here in the memory banks, saying, oh, you did that to me last race? All right, I see how it is.
Yeah.
5.5 laps remaining. Can these guys save enough fuel to make it to the end?
That's what I'm really...
Oh. No, they can't.
That answered that question. It was real fast.
Oh, Schue coming in hot.
I was not expecting the whole pack to come in.
But you know what, though? I feel like that's a smart move. It's an 8-car pack here.
Yeah.
They're going to have a lot more momentum than Gaston and Gleason, who are only a couple of... they're only 2 cars. We're going to see Jonathan Gaston and Garrett Gleason now leading the field. They've got a couple lapped cars in with them, the 44 of Danny White and the 4 of Adam Stewart.
Yeah. That being said, Eckert and Group does have a pack of 7.
Exactly. So, let's break down the field now. Right now, our top 2 drivers are here, the 7 and the 72. Jonathan Gaston leads, Garrett Gleason in second. We have to go 9 seconds back to the 35 car of Robert Tripp, who is all by himself. From Tripp, we now have to go another 8 seconds, and actually shrinking 7 seconds now, to Anthony DeBarro, Philip Scott and company. This is where that huge charge is going to come, but they still have to go quite a ways away because the leaders are at the start-finish line now. This pack is just exiting turn 4. So if this pack can link up and stay together and grow their numbers as they catch some of the slower cars, like they're about to catch Cannizzaro Jr. right now, they're going to catch Robert Tripp. If they can link up, they'll have way more momentum to get around the 7 and 72.
Really, are they going to do that in the next 4 laps?
That's the question. And I think that is going to make this very, very interesting. But for now, let's ride here with the leaders. Gleason has caught Gaston. This is the battle for the lead right now as Garrett Gleason goes around the 72. We're going to keep this track map up as the 72 is falling off quite a bit.
Wonder if he has enough gas?
Let's see. Those 2 drivers last pit on lap 13. I don't know if they're going to have enough fuel.
Yeah, I was going to say.
They both pit on lap 13. They both came down at the yellow and then on lap 13 with the 1 to go to top off and get the the confidence splash. Are they going to have enough fuel? They're going to have to get some pushing from the 4 and 44. But there's 2 laps left. Gaston is going to have to blink. Jonathan Gaston on pit road, 2 to go.
Yeah, that checked out as to why he was slowing down.
12 seconds separating Garrett Gleason from the rest of the pack. 1.5 laps
hold
remaining.
on.
Can Gleason hold on? There's the pack looming in the background.
He could save hard, but you only have 10 seconds.
170, 160 miles an hour. Gleason slowing out of turn number 4.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Garrett Gleason has to pit.
He's out of gas. Heartfelt attempt.
Oh, man. Cinderella story.
He was right there.
Unfortunate ending.
So for the future,
as now is Gleason going to have enough fuel to get to his pit box now? That's the question. As we have the white flag, this is the pack. This is the race for the win now. Everyone in there. Top 10 drivers separated by less than a second.
Oh, boy.
DeBarro leads. Robert Tripp not entirely sure where he can go. He's stuck up at the top side. Philip Scott all over the back bumper of DeBarro. He's got Tristan Maher in there as well. What's going to happen here? Through the tri-oval. More contact in the back.
Ooh.
At the line, DeBarro gets turned. Chris Cabot is going to win at Talladega.
Oh, man. Oh, geez. And then everybody in the back just...
What a finish.
And again, for the second week in a row, I will throw all my questions out the window.
Chris Cabot gets the win. Tristan Maher comes home second. Jamar Dumas, our third place finisher. Wow, what a finish. That was incredible.
Yeah, the fantastic finish, but I mean, I gotta start coming with like secondary notebooks of questions. This is
at this point just prep for the entire field.
Yeah. Gabo,
wow.
Up from he started way at the bottom, no?
Chris Gabo started second to last on the field.
It's insane.
And he comes home in first. What a finish. Before we take a look at the insanity that was the last race, let's take a look here at the last lap. Here's Gabo. He's all the way back in 6th at this point. He's pushing the 99. He gets a good run on the outside. And this right here is kind of what helped him, because now he's in the middle.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a whole lot of help, but he's using that side draft to kind of pack air on the inside line to keep them together. Mike Tellier, and what did I say earlier? You want Mike Tellier on your back bumper coming to the white or coming to the checkered flag.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what happened there. He had a good push there from Tellier. They're side by side. Looked like the 27.99 came together, and that sent everyone 3 and 4 wide all across the line.
And everyone's arms are gonna hurt from all those steering wheel spins.
That is for sure. But let's let's see if we can chat with our top 3 finishers here tonight. Jamar Dumas, Tristan Maher, as well as our winner, Chris Gabo. As we're going to move some of these drivers into the waiting room. And Joe, I believe you are in the process of catching up with our third place finisher, driver of the number 28 machine, Jamar Dumas.
Hey, Jamar. Congrats on the podium finish. How how does it feel to grab a podium finish in the first race here?
Oh man, it feels great. I didn't think that second group was going to catch that first group here at the end, but we ended up pulling it off. Yeah.
um, how did tire wear and your fuel strategy kind of play into the race for you?
Well, tire wear was fine. There was no tire issues at all. Fuel strategy though, I was going to be like a lap and a half short or so. So once Canizaro and those guys said they were pitting, I was like, man, we got to pit. So we pitted and came out of the pits. Nobody was with me, so we had to team up. And about a lap and a half left, we caught that lead group. We were hauling the mail too.
Yeah, you guys were moving. I'm sure you got some shout outs for us before we get to the second race.
Oh yeah, just the usual folks, my family, my wife Shelly, my daughter Madison, and all these great guys that run the league here. And thank you guys for doing the broadcast again.
Absolutely. Good luck in the second race. Hopefully we'll be talking to you again.
Yes, sir. See you then.
All right, that's Jamar Dumas, our third place finisher here tonight. And I'm now joined by our second place finisher, guy we have not spoken to in a bit of a while. But he's the driver of the number 17 machine, Tristan Thuggy Maher. And Tristan, P2 here, first race back with TNR in a while. That one's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, it does. Feels pretty good to be back. It's been a long while since I've been here. I normally don't make it due to having a billion kids and life stuff. But yeah, that one felt great.
Yeah, and talk to us, about a little bit of fuel strategy there for you guys. Everyone kind of running out with just a few laps to go. I'm sure that, the little thing in the back of your head saying, oh man, I don't know if we're going to catch that lead pack. What was it like, catching them, and then talk us through that last lap run at the end?
Well, I was actually in. Oh wait, maybe I was in the second pack. I don't know. I think that we were all super close to making it, just right on the line. But I think at some point during that run, some people that didn't want to save fuel decided that they wanted to go fast, and then everybody had to go fast. So all in all, it basically ended up being everybody had to pit. I was probably really only like half a lap short, but if you take away like everybody else pitting, I think I was more like one lap short. So yeah, it was fun. It was cool strategy stuff going on, and very, very interesting.
That is for sure. And Tristan, before we let you go, I'm sure you have some shout outs, so let's hear them.
Yeah, you open the booth. I can't wait to go back and watch this. And then obviously Garrett, and Mikey helps out too, and everybody who helps put this league on. It's been a while since I've been here, but I think about racing here every Monday. I just can never do it. So it's been a blast already, and I'm glad to have been able to run a race.
Awesome. Well, Tristan, we'll get you back in that race group, and hopefully we get to chat with you after the next race as well.
Yeah, Bob, thank you.
All right, that's Tristan Maher, our second place finisher. And Joe, you've made it down to victory lane to chat with our winner, Chris Cabot.
Hey, Chris. Okay, insane race for you. Going from second to last to first. How's it feel?
Feels good, man. It was a wild ride in there.
Yeah, speaking of a wild ride, could you walk us through what your last lap was for you?
Man, I don't even know. I really wanted to get behind Shane and help him, and try to push him to a win. And once the 77 got to my outside, I couldn't get up there and help Shane. Luckily, I honestly thought Phil in the 99 was gonna take that move to the outside at the same time where I was clear coming off too. He was obviously clear too. I thought he was going to beat me to it. Somehow I was able to just sneak it to his outside and then make it through the chaos on the front stretch.
There was a lot of chaos back there. How do you feel? Do you feel like you have momentum going into the second race here tonight?
Oh heck yeah, man! This is 3 plate wins in a row for me. So I swept the Daytona doubleheader too.
Well, I'm sure you got some shout outs for us.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely got to shout out my teammates over at Dizzy Motorsports, DeBarro and Shane. Great job tonight. I think one of them is going to get the win in the second race. Also, shout out Mom and Grandma and my cats, Gigi and Norm.
Awesome. Well, congratulations again. Hopefully, we'll be talking to you in a little bit on your fourth win.
Sounds good, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Chris Cabot, our winner here tonight for race number 1 of the Talladega doubleheader here at the TNR Total Nonstop Racing League. Real quick, let's take a look at the final results for tonight's race. Chris Cabot is going to be our winner for tonight. As long as we can get that to show up, that would be sweet. There we go. Chris Cabot is our winner. Tristan Maher comes home P2. Jamar Dumas in third. Jacob Bettis with a great finish. He ties Shane Ewing coming to the line at 228 thousandths of a second. Bettis over Ewing. Johnny Eckert comes home 6th. DJ Weeks in 7th, Philip Scott in 8th, Ace House 9th, Jason Schue in 10th, Jonathan Gaston 11th, Adam Stewart in 12th, Garrett Gleason, after having to pit on the last lap, comes home in 13th, Ryan Cole 14th, Robert Tripp 15th, Johnny Williams 16th, Anthony DeBarro in 17th, Danny White 18th, John Canizaro Jr. in 19th, Mike Floppy Tellier comes home in 20th, John Canizaro Sr. wraps up our field tonight. We are going to step aside, take a quick break, but when we come back, we will have race number 2 ready for you here at Talladega. Don't go away. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to race number 2 here at Talladega Superspeedway for the Total Nonstop Racing League. This is going to be a fun one for sure, as drivers out making their qualifying laps here. A couple of drivers out on track at the moment. This pack here is going to be the one to keep an eye out for. Jonathan Gaston here closing up on the back of the number 60 and 99 machines. As you see, Gaston already purple coming after the first half of the lap. He's going to get a huge run here, and this very well could spring him up into P1. Let's see what his lap is going to look like. He's already fastest on the board. Gaston will go much faster, 49.87. And it's all about getting that run to the line on this qualifying run. You almost want to be the third driver. So let's watch how Ryan Cole is gonna answer here. He backs off quite a bit, and then he's gonna pick up the draft from the 99 and get some more time. Let's see if he's purple so far. No, Philip Scott fastest. Purple means you are the fastest car on track. Green means you're faster than your fastest part. Now someone else is purple. As this time through, let's see here who's going to go fastest. Gaston not quite as fast, although he does improve his lap time with 49.77. Philip Scott third now. John Cannizzaro Sr. goes top of the charts at a 49.46. A lot of movement here on track, as we have about a minute and a half left to go, as Cannizzaro Jr. now goes top of the board. Could we potentially see a father-son front row? We'll have to see. Cannizzaro Sr. was purple through the first sector. Can he pick up on it? Not quite. So far, junior, senior front row. Still happening. I don't think we've ever actually had a father-son front row lockout. Johnny Eckert here in third. So far, no one able to run faster. Just House and Eckert both picking up on their times. Eckert still not able to best his best lap at 49.5. Now the white flag here for qualifiers. Anyone who took the white, or anyone who crossed the line before the time expired, is able to do a second lap. But so far, no one able to get faster. We're going to keep an eye out here on both Eckert and Tellier. Tellier green. Oh, he gets loose. Back across the racetrack, hard in the inside wall.
Oop.
Hello Kitty.
On that one.
Very crushed.
Goodbye, Kitty.
So now only a handful of cars left. Adam Stewart burning it down. Tyler Avery saying, well, we have a junior senior front row. Coming from the team owner, what is this reality? Yeah, I don't know if I want to be a part of this timeline where both Canizaros are on the front row.
I'm a little worried.
As you should be.
Yeah.
But let's take a look here at the starting lineup for tonight's second race of the doubleheader. Potentially, as we wait for the cars. There they are on the backstretch. I was wondering why they weren't showing up. So our front row consists of John Canizaro Jr. and John Canizaro Sr., Johnny Eckert, and Mike Floppy Tellier, row number 2. Row number 3, we have Jonathan Gaston and Philip Scott, Ryan Cole, Jason Schue in row number 4. Ace House and Jamar Dumas, our third place finisher of race number 1. Tristan Maher, who finished second in row number 6 alongside Adam Stewart. In row number 7, we have Shane Ewing and Jacob Bettis, Anthony DeBarro, DJ Weeks, row number 8. Danny White, Chris Cabot, row number 9. Garrett Gleason, Robert Tripp in row number 10. And Johnny Williams rounding out our 21-car field for our second race of the evening.
Love doubleheaders.
These doubleheaders are always exciting, always entertaining. And I am definitely looking forward to this one as the field just getting ready to roll here at Talladega. Only half a pace lap. As we're going to be rolling now. Should we get a yellow, I do want to talk to Garrett Gleason. Did not get a chance to, before this race, talk about his mindset and what was going on there in that first race, leading, coming to the line, and then running out of fuel through turns 3 and 4 and having to jump down pit road.
It was an amazing display of effort.
So the field getting ready to go green. Pace car pulls off and heads down pit road. The field in the hands of not one but 2 John Canizaros.
What could go wrong?
Junior on the inside in the black and white machine, senior on the outside in the white and blue machine. Through the restart zone they go. Green flag in the air, and race number 2 is underway. Both Canizaros get a good start. Mike Tellier all over the back bumper of Senior. Senior's going to jump down in front of Junior. Three wide in the middle of the pack. There's Jamar Dumas taking a peek to the top side. He's got Jason Schue and Adam Stewart thinking about helping. They think better of it, and that's going to open up a window for Dumas to try to sneak back in behind the 28, and he does. Schue out wide, a little bit further back. Looked like there might have been a little bit of contact between the 4 and the 3, but all are good to go there. As now 2 of the 3 Crazy Horse machines at the front of the field. Canizaro Sr. leads lap 1. Side by side, the field goes down the back straightaway. Big push from the 99 is going to push Tellier towards the front. Here comes DeBarro screaming up the top side. DeBarro saying, hey, there's plenty of room up here. We're going 3 wide. Gabo thinks about following. He might. Meanwhile, up front, who's going to lead lap 2? Canizaro Sr. still leads. As a field 3x3x3.
I would say everyone got their jitters out the first race, but the way it ended, I feel like there's more now than before.
Yeah, and you know, usually, and we always talk about this, how one race of a doubleheader is usually pretty tame. There might be a wreck or two here and there, but nothing too wild and crazy. And then the second race is usually flat out insane. And so far, they're racing like that's the case. Wild and crazy here. The top 10 drivers all under a blanket. We're going to have to go back to 16th place to see a driver who's more than 1 second behind the leader.
A wild stat.
As we see now, Anthony DeBarro, he's going to get a good push from Danny White, and that's going to put DeBarro at the front. Or is it down on the inside? Here comes Dumas pushing Tellier. Some frantic racing 4 laps into this 40-lap run. One car on the wall in the back, that looks like Senior. Or pardon me, that would have been the 60 of Ryan. Tyler Avery in the chat says, and now Senior has led a lap. I firmly believe we're living in a simulation.
I had this conversation today with somebody else.
Okay, so it is confirmed we are living in a simulation.
Yeah. I think it was NFL related, though.
You know what? Still counts. So here comes Adam Stewart getting some help from Ace House. Outhouse dives down to the bottom. Stewart all over the back bumper of Danny White. One car off of the pack. That would be the 43 of Johnny Williams. Williams just in front of this pack. Great looking view here for the 32 machine. Let's take a look here at the driver cam, as this is exactly what Ewing is able to see right now. And it's not a lot. Three wide for the lead. Frantic racing going on.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? Let's make it 3x3x3.
Again,
9 cars.
what's the worst?
Nothing could possibly go wrong now. Oh wait, let's make it 3x3x3x3. As now the top 12 drivers all 3 wide. This is intense.
See, everything is fine.
As we see this battle going right now, Tristan Maher, the 3rd car in line, basically is in 7th right now. Still trying to sniff the front of the field. Meanwhile, Danny White leads that lap with help from Adam Stewart. Jacob Bettis just behind him. Johnny Williams pits. Gorgeous afternoon here in Talladega, Alabama. 81-degree air temperature, 105 degrees on track. So we're going to see slightly more grip this time through.
I was going to say it's better than last drop, but 123-ish.
Yeah, 123 down to 105. So we are going to see a little bit more grip. We're going to see speeds be a little bit faster. And I think it's going to make for some really good racing here in the second race. 10 laps in. Field all bunched together. We're going to have to go all the way back to 16th place DJ Weeks before anyone's more than a second behind the leader. And there's Weeks there in that black and green machine. With the green X on the hood, he's got Johnny Eckert just behind him. But Joe, right now, yeah, they may be 3 wide, but they're really, you know, racing with respect, racing clean, no one throwing any crazy or heinous blocks or anything like that. And when it comes to that, I mean, that's what makes these races so clean. We went the Daytona doubleheader to start the season completely clean with no yellows. We only had 1 yellow in the last race just before this. And it's all about respect.
Yeah, that's such a good part of like this league. And as a super nerd joke, if Bettis gets in trouble, he has the 91 of Racer X in the back over there.
So we can blame DJ if Bettis has any issues.
Correct. I know I think it's the opposite. Racer X is the one that always bails him out. So if Bettis has any issues, I expect Weeks to help.
So Weeks is going to help. Got it. Yeah, I need to catch up on my Speed Racer lore, apparently.
Yeah.
Out front, not much has changed. A little bit further back in the pack right now. There's Ace House following behind the 72 of Jonathan Gaston. Bettis there is going to slot down in the middle behind Thuggy Maher. Maher finished P2 in the first race. And you can hear everyone just kind of feathering that throttle, not really going full out, but enough to kind of keep you up with the pack, but not underneath the guy in front of you. Let's take a look a little bit further back in the pack right here. The CHR guys, the Crazy Horse Racing drivers, all nose to tail now, with Junior leading the way over Senior and Ryan Cole. And I'm sure that was kind of their plan. They want to link up. They want to stay together. Because if you can race as one solid pack, you're going to have a little better moment and little better opportunity to try to race over everyone else. As 44, Danny White in the wall. Let's take a look to see what happened there. He might have just gotten a little too high and then kind of had that wall glue.
Let's see what Scott got involved.
Let's see. Yeah, no, he just kind of got up in the wall. and the wall glue catches him. That's just that little bit of centrifugal force is going to keep him up in the outside wall, and that's going to hold him back. And unfortunate for him, Philip Scott involved too. Meanwhile, out front, Anthony DeBarro is your leader. He started back in 15th. At the line, who's going to get it? Looks like that was Shane Ewing leading that lap. Tellier there, the driver out of Ontario, Canada. All over the back bumper of the 27 of DeBarro. And Joe, we're almost at halfway, and these guys have been racing all out.
Yeah, you would think there's only 3 left with the way they've been racing.
Now DeBarro kind of in a bit of a sucker hole right now, as never mind. The whole field goes down to the inside or goes down to the middle. Here comes Thuggy Maher trying to split the gap. 24 to go. Shane Ewing, your leader. A little bit of front end damage there on the 25 of Chris Gabot. Gabot won the first race. That might just be a little bit of superficial damage, as iRacing may be calculating the damage just a little bit off. Looks like Robert Tripp heads down pit road with Johnny Williams. Taking a look here at the speed, Mike Tellier hitting 201 miles an hour as he drives off into the corner. Slightly faster from the last race.
A little bit.
Certainly interested to see how him pushing that much is going to help or hurt his engine and, water and oil temperatures. I'm sure that little bit of pushing isn't going to hurt too much. But it's not exactly rare to see one of these engines pop in the draft like this just because you're pushing and getting the nose underneath the guy in front of you a little more than you really should.
Yeah, at least you got that.
Coming to 21 laps to go. Here come the Crazy Horse drivers as they head down pit road. That's Canizaro Jr. and Sr., as well as Ryan Cole. Robert Tripp on pit road for an extended period of time. Now Tripp down and away. And Canizaro taking tires. Both junior and senior taking tires. Cole does not. And disaster again for the Crazy Horse drivers, as there's the 55 still on pit road. He might have gotten a penalty for
He did come in a little hot.
As the 28 and 72 get together. They all look none the worse for wear. As green flag pit stops now with 20 laps remaining. Gaston on pit road. Tellier down and away. Gaston looks like he's taking tires. Schue and Dumas all together there. Let's head back up towards the front. Here come the Dizzy drivers and the rest of the field. Going hard on pit road. Ewing, oh, big slide. Wow, what a save. Holy cow, what a save. And if he's able to stave off a speeding on pit road penalty,
that's big.
Wow.
Oop, overshot the box.
Oh, but he overshoots the box. So does the 4 of Adam Stewart. And yeah, after that slide, if I'm the 32, I'm absolutely taking fuel. Or taking tires.
I was going to say, definitely fuel, probably tires. Well, at least backs, I don't know.
So that'll cycle everything around. Tristan Maher likely will be the leader. But as we say that, Ryan Cole and company, they're 40 some odd seconds behind DJ Weeks and Johnny Eckert, who are heading down pit road right now. But real quick, let's take a look to see what happened to that 32 of Shane Ewing. Ewing's still on pit road, so he definitely got a bit of a speeding penalty there. Let's take a look here. We're on board with the 32 of Ewing as they all come out of turn number 4. They know, all right, we're coming down, we're going to pit here. And, oh, man. Yeah, just a little hot coming down, but what a save. Ewing finally coming out of the pits.
That's a rough break on him because it's a gorgeous save, but...
Oh, yeah. Immaculate save. As there's the pass for the lead. That's going to go to Tristan Maher. He's got Chris Cabot on his bumper. And they're going to collect the 55 of Cannizzaro Sr. He's going to be the first car 1 lap down now. So if a yellow were to come out, Cannizzaro Sr. would be getting his lap back.
Yeah.
Now we've got 18 to go. The 99 and 27, they came together coming to the checkers in the first race. Now they're helping each other here. Side-by-side racing here at the front. Tristan Maher leading. DeBarro and Scott on the outside getting a good push there from Cannizzaro Jr. 16 laps to go. Now, if I'm Cannizzaro Sr., I do not want to see that 32 car in front of me. But I also want to sit there and say, all right, when the field catches him, I need to get around him, because that's going to be the race for the lucky dog. Should the yellow come out, the first car 1 lap down gets their lap back. That's going to be important here, especially because you don't see too many yellows as everyone just kind of rides here until the last few laps.
Yeah.
So up front we have Tristan Maher, Chris Cabot just behind him. Anthony DeBarro on the top side in third in that white machine. And oh, caution! Yellow flag is out, and that is a huge boon for, I believe, John Cannizzaro Sr. as he's going to get his lap back.
That's big.
So now the question is, what happened?
That is a good question.
Might have been an issue with, the 55 came up, caught the 44. That put the 44 and the 32 together, and unfortunately for, both drivers, there's not going to be a lucky dog because Cannizzaro got into the 44. That gives him a incident point, according to iRacing. And because the 44 came down and got in the 32, he also receives an incident point.
Oh, that's just unfortunate.
So unless Johnny Williams or Robert Tripp are on track, which I do not believe they are, neither of them will be our lucky dog recipients this time through.
What a turn of events.
So let's set the stage now. 14 laps to go. Everyone has pit. They all shouldn't need to pit this time through. But for those who did not take tires, this might be a good opportunity for them to come down and take a fresh set. Fill up with fuel. This way they know for a fact, okay, we can make it from here regardless, whether there's overtime, whether there's whatever happens. Let's see who decides to come down. Looks like the first taker will be the 25 of Chris Cabot. Which that is just an incredible camera angle there. That was impressive. So we'll see Cabot, Tellier, and everyone else from, I'd say probably about 9th on back, duck down on pit road.
Yeah, 13 to go. That changes a lot.
Yeah, I'd say. Tyler Every saying, the proverbial monkey wrench has been thrown into the proceeding. So everyone's slowly making their way back. Let's see if we can dial up the old number 7 machine just to see how his race is going so far. We'll see if we can steal him for a moment. Garrick Gleason, Bob G, and Joe here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, Bob. Hey, how's it going? I don't think you guys have talked to me in years.
I was going to say, it has been a while. I was prepping myself for interview questions with the last race, and, I was kind of hyping things up, and what happened there towards the end? Just kind of ran out with 1 to go?
Yeah, I never really had a shot, Bob, but I figured with my talent level and everything else, that was my only shot to get on TV, lead the lap, and I was hoping for that yellow with like 1 or 2, well, 2 or 1 to go, and hoping to be able to top off. But I figured it was good for the drama and the TV time. I was telling the guys in the chat here, I said, they're going to think that I have enough fuel because I'm so slow out here, and build the suspense.
That kind of was my thought process when I saw you and Jonathan leading there when the rest of the guys headed down. I'm like, all right, they might know something we don't know, because I saw you'd pit, a couple of times under the yellow flag that we got there, and I'm like, all right, maybe he was able to save just enough to get him around, but unfortunately, it looks like that may not have been the case.
It certainly wasn't, Bob. We'll have to live many more years for me to be able to win a total nonstop racing event. But how's things looking from the broadcast booth? I mean, some good competitive racing. The first race seemed pretty fun.
Yeah, that first race was incredible. Coming to the line there, having everyone 3-4 wide, guys in the catch fence and everything. It was intense. But man, this has been such a blast to call these races, and just with how clean the racing here is at TNR. I mean, going the Daytona doubleheader without any yellows, minimal yellows here. It's been pretty wild.
Yeah, certainly a fun experience. I encourage everyone that wants to come do this with us on Monday nights. And if you're not watching your broadcast, of course, hey, you could do both. You could race and watch the broadcast. But Total Nonstop Racing really is. It's a fun league. It's a blessing to administrate. I really don't have any problems anymore, and the racing speaks for itself.
Definitely. And for folks who want to join, the link to the Discord is in the description of this video, both on YouTube and on Twitch. So if you're interested, definitely check it out and come race with us. G, I'll throw you back up with the rest of the guys, and good luck the rest of the way.
Hey, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for everything you do.
All right. That's Garrett Gleason, our in-race reporter here for tonight, driving the number 7 Komen Care machine. The capybara on the side of the car. Love that paint scheme, too.
Fantastic. It's one of my favorite.
So we're now getting ourselves ready to race here. Our leader, Tristan Maher, on his outside is Anthony DeBarro. John Cannizzaro Jr. in 3rd. Philip Scott 4th. Jamar Dumas, Ryan Cole 5th and 6th. Jonathan Gaston, Mike Floppy Tellier in there as well. Jacob Bettis in the top 10. Ace House in 11th right now. Jason Schue in 10th. As well, Joe, we're going to have a nice 11-lap shootout to settle this thing.
Oh, yeah. The other 28 we were at definitely weren't shootouts.
I think we're going to see a few more elbows out moments here as we're coming to the green flag. Maher has to wait until he gets into that Geico restart zone on the track. Then he can choose when to go. He gets on the loud pedal. But the outside line between DeBarro and Scott linked up, pushing hard. Good looking field down the back straightaway. The Alabama gang back straightaway.
One more time with that?
The Alabama gang back straightaway. Named
no
after named after very famous NASCAR drivers all out of Alabama. The Allisons, Caleb Yarborough, etc., etc. All known as the Alabama gang. But we've got 10 to go. Oh, the 4-4, Danny White scrapes the wall just a little bit. We're going to stay 3 by 3 by 3. As we have Ryan Cole up at the front getting pushed from Tellier. Philip Scott still on the back bumper of the 27.
Yeah, Scott really worked himself right back up. He was, for a while there, way in the back.
Yeah, I think because he had also mentioned in the race chat over on the Discord saying, man, I apologize. He felt real bad for getting into the 27 and turning him. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Scott locked to the back bumper of the 27, just kind of pushing him for a win just to say, hey, my bad. I'm sorry.
Alternatively, we get to see the same thing happen 2 races in a row.
That is true.
You know, devil's advocate here.
We're definitely going to find out here as we're coming to 8 to go this time by still anyone's race. Ryan Cole, our leader. Cole drops down in front of Maher. Now Maher jumps in front of DeBarro. He's going to try to get a run to the line. Maher leads that lap. He's getting help from DeBarro. Not a whole lot of help behind DeBarro, as now here comes Jacob Bettis and Adam Stewart. Now the field 3 wide, 3 by 3. Top 15 cars all separated by 1 second.
Yep.
Plenty of room here as Bettis drops down in front of Stewart. He's got Danny White on his tail. Bettis slides up slowly in front of the 17 of Maher. And oh, trouble! Trouble!
Oh,
Big
big
wreck
trouble.
in the back. Ace House involved. That's
Oh,
the
man.
32 as well. As Shane Ewing was involved.
Man, he's just can't catch a break this race, huh?
Tough break there for the 47, the 91 of DJ Weeks involved. Let's take a look to see what happened there. It's all going to happen. Yeah, we already see the 17 of Tristan Maher there in this freeze frame, already sideways. Had the back end lifted up there. He got into the 47. Garrett Gleason gets a piece of it as well. There's Ace House. Let's get one more view here of the 47 machine. The black and red in the middle lane. Yeah, the 17 just got hit and nowhere for the 47 to go. With a vicious hit there on the back end.
Oh, yeah. As someone who's experienced that in VR, I really hope he didn't have a headset on.
Certainly not ideal when those moments happen.
Not at all.
So now we're going to see if anyone decides to head down pit road.
With 6 to go, would there be a benefit?
I mean, fresh tires would be helpful to, get a good launch on the restart, but unless you're in the front row and everyone decides to pit, it doesn't really make sense. But if you're further back, like, right now, Philip Scott, Mike Tellier and company, they're all coming down now. Mm-hmm. They think, you know what? Let's get those tires. Fuel, I think adding fuel to the car, yeah, it's going to add some weight, but I think it's going to help the car not be super tight in the corners. Which handling really is not a factor in super speedway races. But, it very well could be just something to get fresh tires, have enough grip, and you'll be good to go.
No, looks like Scott's fixing a little bit of damage. I saw his bumper pop out a little bit.
Yeah, he had a little bit of a coming together. Might have been just some superficial bump drafting damage. But a lot of cars still on pit road. Couple of Crazy Horse Racing drivers in the front. Ryan Cole, John Cannizzaro Jr. Jake Busto saying, hey, what happened to the 97 and the 90? Well, the 17 got a little bit of damage there. Let's take one more look at that wreck. Because the 17 got picked up on the back end on a bit of a bump draft, and unfortunately for Ace House and DJ Weeks, just happened right in front of them. So here's the 91 of DJ Weeks. Big slide in front, and just got ran over. A little bit of contact there from the 7 of Garrett Gleason, and around goes the 91. Field coming to 1 to go this time by. So we're going to have a 3-lap shootout to settle things. Johnny Williams in the chat saying, sorry, I left, had a headache come on, couldn't focus. So sorry about that, Johnny. Hope you feel better soon. Then before the race, Johnny had said that he may not be able to make the race because he apparently had a snake in his bedroom that he was trying to catch and get out.
There's a college student somewhere that's going to use that.
Sorry, I couldn't make it to my. Sorry, I couldn't make it to my my finals. There was a snake loose in my dorm room, and no, it's not a euphemism.
That'll happen next week.
Johnny also earlier this week welcomed his 15th grandchild into this world, so congratulations to Johnny and company.
In the chat, he goes, it's still in here somewhere. Maybe it's watching the race.
So we can mark down, however many viewers we have, plus one snake.
Yeah, that's something.
That's dedication too, because I know for me, if there was a snake in my house, I wouldn't have a house. That would be the snake's permanent residence now.
It really depends on the snake. That's the thing.
Nope. Doesn't have legs, doesn't have arms. I don't want it. Eels, worms, and snakes? No. They're just sentient tubes.
Oops, all torso? Is that...
That's the hill I'm dying on here.
Noted.
That is the prime content you come to the Tabletop Trio Podcast Network for.
Don't bring Bob fishing. Got it.
So to save me from this, base car pulls off and we're getting ready to go racing here. 3-lap shootout to settle things here at the Talladega doubleheader here for the Total Nonstop Racing League. Green flag is out. For him watching the chat says, Danger Noodle. Good jump there by the 60 of Ryan Cole. He's got Anthony DeBarro all over his back bumper.
You can't get much closer than that, but you really don't want it. This is about it.
Yeah, that's kind of about as close. And like I'd mentioned earlier about that bubble of air, that's exactly where you want to be. Not quite touching, but enough to kind of force that balloon or that bubble to push the car ahead of you. Two to go.
Uh-oh.
Sliding big wreck. Cole upside down. Cannizzaro in the wall.
And I'm going to throw out my notes again.
Oh, the 91 and the 90 both get into it as well.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think that car's going.
Let's jump on board here with that number 41 machine, and well, it's already in the air.
Yeah. I was going to say when the two were lined up like that, we can call the two lines Danger Noodles, and then that happens. So I'm glad I didn't say it out loud.
Yeah. Let's take a look here. Bit of a push there as the car just kind of lifts up and...
Oh. That might have been on me.
The broadcaster's curse is very real.
Yeah. We were just talking about how he doesn't want to get much closer than that.
And now we see why.
Yeah. Well, now we have the cause and effect.
That is true. And Cannizzaro here went for a wild ride. Let's jump on board here and take a look from the cockpit from the driver's eye view. Cannizzaro just kind of minding his own business, and there's my teammate.
Oh hi.
Hello, crowd.
Fancy meeting you here.
The good news is, if you see there, he doesn't have any steering damage, so he might be able to continue with limited interruption.
Yeah.
As all the
Tyler
60
Avery.
just sadly limping that mangled up race car.
I'm surprised he got that thing started.
Honestly, same here. I mean, that car is quite mangled.
Yeah. It's like my cars after races.
So with that, Anthony DeBarro is our leader. Look who's running P2. That's Adam Stewart.
Who's running P3?
Mike Tellier just behind him as well. Jamar Dumas heads down pit road. He's got some damage on the front end. Adam having a much quieter race number 2. As we're going to have overtime here at TNR. Just some incredible racing.
So are we going to restart with 1 lap to go? Are they going to add a lap? How does this work? We are late in the game here.
Yeah, so we, for overtime, it's a green-white checkered policy, so they're going to keep adding laps. When they go green, they do the lap, they come back around, they get the white flag lap. And then after the white flag, they come down, they finish the race. So you're guaranteed to get the green flag, the white flag, and the checkered. If the yellow comes out before the white flag, we're going to re-rack and do it all over again, and they'll add more laps on to the end of the race.
Gotcha.
Once the white flag comes out, though, iRacing does not throw the yellow. In real life, if the caution were to come out after the white flag, the race is done and over with. But here in iRacing, no one can get injured, aside from, a wrist from an accident or something like that.
Right.
Don't ask me how I know that. Real life, they would call the yellow, but here in iRacing, once the white flag comes out, boys have at it. So we should be getting a pretty wild finish to this one here. Should be getting the 1 to go this time through. As this has been a fast and exciting race.
Yeah.
Our third caution of the night.
We really thought after the first race that was going to be like, that's your finish. That's the 2 races. That's going to be the finish. And now here we are.
Yeah. Here's Cannizzaro Jr. after taking a trip to the stands. Car looks pretty decent, all things considered. And, the only question I'm sure he has is, is the power there? And, I mean, as long as he can stay with the field and stay with the pack, he should be okay. But he's still got a little bit of a ways around.
I was gonna say he's got some time to get there.
But he should be able to catch up. So overtime now here. DeBarro to the inside. He's going to have Mike Tellier on his bumper. Adam Stewart on the outside. He's going to have a push coming from Jonathan Gaston. There's Jason Schue in the mix. He's starting 5th. Danny White in 6th. Great to see Schue having a good run here, too.
Crazy to see White back in 6th. He's had little issues like the whole race.
Yeah, and it's just been little moments where he, just gets a little loose, catches the wall, and centrifugal force kind of does its thing.
Yeah.
Pace car getting ready to pull off. Overtime is next. On board here with the 97. Let's see when DeBarro decides to go. A little bit of a push there from the 97 to say, all right, go. That was a good jump. Stewart coming down the side draft. He's going to get some help from the 72 of Gaston. Gaston takes a peek to the top side. He's got Danny White to help. Stewart falling back a little bit. Coming to the white flag. Here comes DeBarro. Gaston with some help on the top side from Danny White. With more momentum down low. Jason Schue takes a peek to the top. He's going to stay in line. He's got Chris Cabot on his bumper. White flag, one more lap to go. Flagman has put the yellow flag in his pocket, and we're not going to see it. Schue gets a good shot on the 97. Philip Scott to the inside. One car into the wall. We're all clumped up. That's White. DeBarro getting a push. Tellier on the outside. Schue not letting Marr in. Oh, trouble.
Oh.
Around goes the 97. We're going to stay at the front. Big
there's
wreck.
Scott.
Philip Scott is around. Coming to the tri-oval. DeBarro. Thuggy Marr to the outside. Here comes Adam Stewart. Stewart with a push from Schue. At the line.
Oh, jeez.
Who has it?
That's a good question. Marr and DeBarro show the exact same time.
Wow. What a finish. We're going to have to take a quick look at that replay. Because that was incredible. Because we're going to have to take a look here to see what exactly happened.
Yeah, that's...
Here is the photo finish coming to the line. That is Tristan Thuggy Maher beating out Anthony DeBarro by a fender flare.
Yep.
Maher beats DeBarro. Coming to the line as well is going to be Jason Schue in the 3. And then Johnny Eckert barely beating out Adam Stewart at the line.
Yeah, there's a race of bumpers.
And then Chris Cabot coming home in 6th. What an incredible finish. As that is the gap, less than a bumper, separating Maher and DeBarro. Wow. What a finish. Absolutely incredible. Let's try to see if we can pull some of our drivers into the our post-race interviews here, because that was just incredible.
Yeah, why do I prep questions anymore?
I mean, at this point, there's there is absolutely no point in doing that, because wow. That was absolutely incredible. What a finish. As Joe, I do believe you've caught up with our third place finisher, driver of the number 3 machine, Jason Schue.
Hey, Jason, congratulations on the podium finish. You were right in the mix of things for the win with that late caution kind of changing everything. How you feeling about the third place finish?
It was definitely a wild race, but I'll take it. I mean, I went and put 4 tires on there with the last, handful of laps to go. So fresh rubber probably helped some.
With the intense final restart you had, and then the crazy finish there, do you think you had a shot at first?
Yeah, I did. Maybe I should have went to the outside when the 97 went, but I didn't. I stayed on the bottom. And it still worked out.
Well, it definitely worked out. A podium finish is better than a late finish. But I'm sure you got some shout outs for us.
Yeah, I want to thank Garrett for putting on this league and everybody that helps run it. And it's definitely fun.
Absolutely is. We were following you all race. Just a fantastic set of races from you and all the guys down there. Congrats again, and hopefully we'll be talking to you next week.
All right, thanks.
All right, that's Jason Schue, our third place finisher here for tonight's race. Now joined by our second place finisher, driver of the number 27 machine, Anthony DeBarro. And, Anthony, congrats there on the P2 finish, a wild overtime. Talk us through there. You got yourself a good restart. You're working well with Mike Tellier, and, just as Talladega always is, it just kind of fell apart there at the end.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. I was literally in both races. I think I was leading both races off of 4. So I mean, it just didn't work out. You'll have that. I mean, I think last season there was instances where I was on the opposite offensive on that. So first off, I want to apologize to Ryan and John there for that bad bump draft coming to the tri-oval. I kind of got off kilter there, and I thought I was square to Ryan, and I was not, and I unfortunately ended their races. So I apologize for that. Other than that, I mean, it was difficult. I don't know with the new build if something changed, or maybe they gave us a new draft model without the new Gen 4 update, because it was completely different than what it's been. Really, you had to be really methodical with your moves. It wasn't like you could gain your momentum back. If you made a bad move, you're gonna pay the price and lose 3-4 rows really quickly.
That's interesting. That's the first time I've heard anyone mention that. Was it just a matter of the draft kind of slowing everyone down, or just kind of was the draft that important here?
I don't know. It's hard to say, because I'm sure you saw the first couple laps. I started in the back, and I just went to the outside and put my foot in, and I drove up to the front with no help. So it's tough, because I remember previous races with this car, you would want to park your car in the middle lane and just stay there, and you could just hold the lead, run in the middle lane. But it seems like once you get side by side, middle and even 3 wide, no one could really clear. I mean, which is cool. I mean, it puts on a good show. I like it. They just have to really think through, and I almost don't want to be that leader coming off of 4. You just obviously both times it didn't work out for me tonight, but it's just, I was talking with my teammates and just thinking things through. I'm just telling what I'm feeling, and I made a couple bad moves, and I was I should have done this. It's just, to me, it felt completely different. I don't know if it was the track update. I don't know. Something was definitely different. It was fun. I very much enjoyed it, and I hope we put on a good show for you guys.
Oh, it was absolutely an incredible race. Both races tonight, and the finishes were just as wild as well. Looking forward to next week. Going to be racing at Rockingham. What are your thoughts there? High bank, short track-esque kind of thing. Should be pretty exciting, especially for tire wear and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, as soon as tire wear comes in the equation, I start licking my chops. So I'm really looking forward to that race. I run okay there. It's a track where, I mean, I don't want to give any tips, but fellow drivers are always welcome to ask us anything. But you lift early, and you really want to coast your speed in there. You do not want to overdrive those corners, and you focus on exit. And really, it's a very difficult rhythm racetrack. It's very fun, and I hope we put on a good race there, and we're slipping and sliding. We could even come close to what happened tonight for the broadcast.
Definitely. Well, Anthony, congrats again on the P2 finish. I'm sure you have some shout outs, so let's hear them.
Yeah, thanks to the admins putting this on. You guys dual races tonight. It's just double the work, and hopefully we put on 2 great finishes. And I can't wait to review everything.
Definitely. Well, Anthony, congrats again on the P2 finish. Looking forward to seeing you next week at Rockingham.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
All right, that's Anthony DeBarro, our second place finisher here tonight. Joe has made his way down to victory lane, and he's caught up with our winner. Second interview of the night with Tristan Maher.
Hey, Tristan, congratulations on an insanely close finish. How does it feel to win by just a fraction of a second and be here the second time tonight?
Feels great, honestly. I don't know what's gotten into me. I'm normally not great at super speedways, but I think that might have been the best piece of driving I ever done, boys.
It was a fantastic finish. Walk us through that last lap, that shootout. How did you keep pulled through?
I mean, honestly, the last lap super speedway racing, brakes are kind of off limits. If you hit the brakes, it's over. You kind of lost. So, I saw that, we were coming out of turn 2, and I saw the gap open up underneath Schue. I'm sorry, Schue, by the way. Didn't want to do this to you. First race back in a long time, but yeah, I saw that gap open. I went under there, and then I was like a little afraid that I was gonna get penalized for going under the yellow, but luckily I made it underneath of him without going below the yellow, and then afterwards, I don't think he knew I was there. I was getting shoved below, but yeah, it was good. After all that stuff happened, it was just like DeBarro got left out front kind of by himself, and I had the draft, and that's pretty much what it came down to. It not letting him block my run, and then he kind of had to defend from Adam there, which helped me a little bit too. And I feel like you can side draft in these cars now. It's been a really, really long time since I've ran in these cars, so this was all kind of a new thing for me.
Well, you can't really argue with the outcome tonight. I'm sure you got some shout outs for us again.
Yeah, you guys obviously definitely going to go back and watch the second one for sure. I thought it was over after I got involved in that wreck, and then you guys up in the booth, Garrett, obviously. I still keep up like in the TNR Discord. I know I don't say a lot, but I do pay attention, and every now and again I really try to make some races, and maybe I might make a little bit of more races, if I keep winning. So see what happens.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations again. Fantastic day for you of racing. And hopefully we'll be talking to you next week.
Yeah, thanks guys. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Tristan Maher, our winner here for race number 2 at Talladega Superspeedway. And Joe, what an incredible finish! Some great racing. Let's take a look here at the final results for tonight's race. TNR double here at Talladega. Tristan Maher gets the win over Anthony DeBarro by 9/1000ths of a second. Jason Schue comes home P3. Johnny Eckert comes home 4th. Adam Stewart in 5th. Chris Cabot 6th. Ace House in 7th. Jamar Dumas in 8th. Danny White in 9th. And then the Canizaros, John Jr. and Sr. in 10th and 11th. DJ Weeks comes home 12th. Garrett Gleason 13th. Jacob Bettis 14th. Shane Ewing in 15th. Mike Floppy Tellier comes home 16th. Philip Scott in 17th. Jonathan Gaston 18th. Ryan Cole 19th. Robert Tripp in 20th. And rounding out our 21 car field is the number 43 machine of Johnny Williams. Wow, what a finish. What a great race. We've got a fun slate of broadcasts set up for you this week here on the Tabletop Trio Podcast Network. You could join us tomorrow night, 9:30 Eastern, for the Speed Tuesday Dash Series. Wednesday night around 8 o'clock Eastern for the Tabletop Trio Podcast as well. And it's all right here on the Tabletop Trio Podcast Network, both on YouTube and on Twitch. We're inching closer and closer to 100 subs on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe, like the video as well. You can follow us on Twitch too, just to see everything else happening. And for a full table of events, make sure you check us out online, tabletoptrio.com. Wow, what a finish. Rockingham next week. Already looking forward to it.
Yes. Can't wait.
Well, that'll just about do it for us. Thank you all so much for watching. It's the Total Nonstop Racing League Talladega doubleheader. For one final time, I'm Bob.
I'm Joe.
Have a great night.